going? My name's Chris. I am the builder of the Storm Chaser bus. It is called the Storm Chaser bus because I work on the power lines for a living. I'm a heavy equipment operator, crane operator with the IBEW, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. I travel around the country doing different types of work, transmission, electrical distribution, underground distribution and transmission. I operate cranes, sometimes fly, put men in a basket, run the crane up 150, 170 feet so that they can work on the power lines. Not a lineman, but I work in the same field as a lineman, as an electrical worker. A little background on my bus. It kind of started as a joke. The price of diesel trucks and stuff like that has gone astronomically through the roof over the last 10 years. Gotten even worse over the last 2. And I made a joke to my wife one day, and I said, man, I'm just going to buy one of these short buses because it comes with a diesel engine. It comes as a dually. I can get them for about a quarter of the price that you could buy a diesel dually for these days. And I could use it. I could use it as a party bus, or I could use it as a camper. She told me I was insane. I was absolutely crazy. It sounded like the dumbest idea she'd ever heard in her life. And then one day I spent a little bit of time out in California last year, and I worked out there, and the hotel rooms were equally as astronomically priced. And I was a kid that I worked with, I can't remember his name now, but he had a Sprinter van. He had sold his car and everything and bought this Sprinter van, put a solar setup on the roof. Him and his dog traveled for work. He was out there working, and he was literally able to sustain himself on a tenth of what I was during the week. And that was pretty much when I decided that when I came home, that was the route I was going to take. And I pursued it, and it took me about 6 months to find one within my price range. Ultimately ended up paying about $1,500 for it. It took me 4 or 5 months of working on it, converting it over. I have 400 watts of solar on the roof. I have about 650 amp hours of lead acid batteries from Walmart. I know I get a lot of flack for that, but ultimately it cost me about $650 in batteries, and I can run my air conditioning all day. It sustains my lights, my refrigerator, my son's PS5, and all of that all through the night. It actually works out pretty good. I was told in the beginning that I would never be able to run air conditioning for 8 hours straight without some sort of generated power source. But I did it. I managed to be able to run a window unit, 5,000 BTU, that is mounted through the back wall of my bus. And I have air conditioning 24 hours a day in the summertime. In the summertime, the solar keeps up with it and keeps the batteries charged. During the day, at nighttime, usually the temperatures drop enough that trying to keep it 70 degrees inside the bus really isn't that hard. So moving right along, it's called the Storm Chaser bus because that's pretty much how I built it. I built it by chasing storms with different contractors. I would go work the storm. I would come home and I would work on the bus for a little while. Then I would go on another storm, and then I would come home and buy some more parts and work on the bus for a little more. We ended up taking it out pretty much before it was ready. The electrical system was done, the solar system was done, but we ended up going up and working in New Jersey with it. And my son and I together stayed in it for about 3 months. Was really all it took for the amount of money we saved by having it actually added up to more than the cost of the build. So I feel like it was so far a pretty good investment. And also, without having it done, it was actually kind of cool to go up there and use it, because some of the things that I ultimately wanted at the end of my build have changed slightly, because having used it, what I want and what I need, some of the things that I didn't realize that I'd want or need, I'm actually going to want or need. And now I'm not stuck in a complete remodel. I'm hoping to get it, built out a little bit more over the winter. But my experience with projects over the years has been that you're never really done. So I don't know that it's ever really going to be quote unquote done. But we stayed in it for a couple months up in New Jersey. It saved us, over the course of the 2.5 months, just on what we saved in hotel rooms. So far I'm at about $6,000 on my build, and it saved us that in hotel rooms. Not having to get them. The Northeast isn't really the cheapest place to stay. So that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna show some pictures and some videos of what the build process and some of what we were doing with it while we were staying up there. Also, my plan is, right now it's November of 2022. My plan is by May or June of 2023, I'm gonna hook the boat to it, and I'm gonna convince my wife, which she's almost there now. She doesn't think I'm quite as crazy as she did, but I'm gonna convince her we're gonna hook the boat to it, and we're probably gonna just head down for a couple weeks, and head down to the Keys and do some fishing, and kind of give her a little bit of some of the bus life experience. We call it doing bus stuff. So check out the video. If you got any ideas or any suggestions or any advice, I'm all ears. If you see me on the road, shoot me a thumbs up. If somehow or other you fell down a rabbit hole and you came across this video, feel free to leave me a like or a comment. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not looking to be sponsored by anybody. I'm not really just kind of doing this to document my adventures with it, and maybe share some of my experiences. And when they say once things hit the internet, they stay on the internet forever. So if you're one of my kids or grandkids 20-30 years from now watching this, and somebody told you a story about your crazy grandpa that used to travel the country in a school bus, then what's up? So check out the rest of my video. I'm gonna try, as time goes on, to upgrade my equipment and kind of document some more of the wild stuff that I get into. I can't say that this channel or anything is going to take any particular direction, other than it might just be like everybody else in my life and just wonder what I'm up to next. See you on the road. This is a few pictures of what I do for work right here. This is a little bit of what I do for fun. Well, there it is. That's my first video. I am open for constructive criticism. If anybody has any tips, tricks, or pointers, questions, ideas for the next video, just give me a comment and I'll do my best to answer them.